Here we go, welcome again to another edition of the Sunday Bunch. And if you want a lovely jubbly Sunday dinner, nice carvery down here at the Hastings pub, George and the team, absolutely gorgeous carvery, lovely fruit and veg. Lovely veg, you don't want fruit on your Sunday lunch, do you? No, fruit. You can have fruit for your dessert, I suppose, that's very nice. And I've had fruit for dessert every now and again, but I do like a nice toffee sticky pudding. I don't know if they provide that here, but anyway, get yourself down to the Hastings Hill and have a nice carvery.
You could have apple sauce.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to George and the team for letting us have this accommodation yet again. And before we get started with the wonderful panel, I just want to give a shout out to the tickets are now on sale for the Wee Philly show at Blackpool, only £3 each, and the link's down in the description below. It's an absolute amazing show. Have a great day. Hopefully we'll get 3 points at some point this season. Right, so on the panel today we have Michael Bowers, top YouTube star. And Michael, why are you wearing shorts today? What's going on?
Because I thought, because I was very warm inside before going out to Midfield to be picked up, and then I instantly regretted it as soon as I started walking.
Just put us off a little bit, that's all.
You recognise as well.
What are you trying to say?
Put the camouflage as well, so it's like he's not wearing shorts.
So thanks, you've just completely exposed us now.
Oh yes, well you are exposed, that's the problem.
Whoa, let's not go there.
This is supposed to be, I don't know. Right, now we've got the dynamic duo on me, right? We've got Sean and Dino, the top people who go and do the lovely, wonderful interview those fantastic fans after the matches, even though there's nothing exciting. They're happy to talk about this moment in time. So, Sean and Dino, did you enjoy the game yesterday?
I thought the first half was drab. Like it was, there was nothing really to shout about. To be honest, it was a really boring first half. I can't really remember a team having a shot. Well, Chris Maguire had one shot saved at the near post, but other than that, both teams really didn't do much. I thought Gillingham played quite well, passing the ball around. I thought we were chasing the ball around mostly the first half. Then second half comes out. Kyle Lafferty got it onto a headed the ball in the back of the net, which he was bought for. He's big man in the box, scores, and then excellent player Michael Mandron equalises from a sloppy throw in. How we didn't clear the ball, I do not know. But obviously the defence has been a bit shaky recently because we have been conceding goals. We're not keeping clean sheets anymore. But it was a simple throw in. Should have dealt with it, and somehow he's tucked in the bottom corner. Then Lafferty somehow gets in behind the defence. Lovely bit of pace from him. He looked a bit quick, to be honest. Like, he looked sharp. Puts it under the keeper. Lovely second goal. Done more than what Wyke's done in the whole season, practically. Scored 2 goals in one game. And then, obviously, we left the game to go and set up outside. And Sean heard a massive, massive roar, which I thought was full time. And he said that's coming from the Gillingham end, which fans confirmed they scored in the 96th minute, which was a massive kick in the teeth and a massive letdown.
So Dean, describe your feelings after the last 3 matches in 3 words.
Last 3 matches in last 3 words? Absolutely diabolical.
That's 2 words. You need a third word.
It's 2, Dean.
Come on, Dean.
Absolutely diabolically
Crap.
There you go.
Right, Sean, yesterday, what's your crack
5%.
on the game anyway?
First of all,
Quick brief.
he started with the same team bar one change, and that was enforcing him, obviously because Charlie White was ruled out. Bringing in Lafferty I think it's been coming for a while. I don't think White's been doing enough, but for me he needs to make more changes. But the first half it was pretty flat. There wasn't much happening. I thought Dobson had a good game. Power was just the same really. The back three was all over the place at times. I think there's nothing in the first half, but the goal was a good cross from Denver Hume, which a lot of people have been criticising lately because his delivery's been,
Was that the only good cross he's provided in the last 3 matches?
It is, but it was a good cross. I watched it back. It was a cracking cross, but it was a good header. I mean, that ball guns into Wyke. I'm not sure he's going to get there. And Lafferty showed a lot of strength to get the header. He moved the defender away and put it in the bottom corner. It was a good finish. But then, like as Dean said, Mandron gets the equaliser 1-1. You're thinking, it's one of them days. But then a good ball played through by Dobson for the second goal. Lafferty showed a lot of composure, put it in the back of the net. And obviously I left the game 85 to set the equipment up, which I always do. Got outside and thinking we're going to get 3 points to win it. It's a good win. And then I heard a roar coming from their end, and I was thinking, please not to check their flash score, and it's a 2-2. Absolutely soul destroying that goal to concede in the 96 minutes. Soul destroying.
Is that how you describe the last 3 games? Absolutely soul destroying in 3 words.
No.
Not 2.
Look at that. On fire, this bloke, on fire. Right, Michael, quick thoughts on the
Can I
game.
just point out, you know how the old journalism says that a picture sums up as 1,000 words? This was my feeling at start of stoppage time, and then that was my feeling at the end of the game. There you go. The 2 pictures of Sean on from the Blue Gum. So
That's a bit different.
And I try to be different. The other 2 have covered it. Yeah. Mikael Mandron scores twice against us. Yeah, could have done that for us, mate, but never mind. Good. You know what? To be fair, Gillingham are not. They're definitely far from the worst team I've seen. We haven't beaten them in 4 attempts, which isn't good enough if you want them to go up. Actually, the second goal, to be fair, from a Gillingham perspective, the second goal was a very good one. But I was to quote Dino here, I was fuming at the defence.
Their second goal was good, and it was a throw-in.
I didn't
It was
see
a long
it.
throw.
No, Mandron's strike was a good strike, though.
see it.
Aye, but
When I say goal, I'm talking about the strike itself, not what led up to it.
But it came from a throw-in. Like,
Oh no, I agree with
fine,
you.
it's a good strike, but I mean, it's 2 throw-ins.
No, I agree. One thing I did say in I looked at the
You
highlights.
said set piece, didn't you? You said it was from a set piece. I'm sure.
That was not-
Don't think. Well, I might be
Not
wrong.
sure.
Well, look, go in the comments. Did I say it was from a set piece? If I did, I apologise. But anyway, the second goal, yeah, we should have seen it out better. The defending for the first one was all over the place. I don't know why on earth someone didn't clear the ball from the corner, but. Yeah, and it's a shame really because we have actually closed the gap to second, even though it doesn't feel like it, because Rotherham somehow got beat at Rochdale yesterday. But then again, that makes it even more annoying that we didn't win.
You know what it is? I thought the first goal that they scored was really, really sloppy, and it was terrible. We had 09 there, we had Power there, Willis was there, and not one of them could clear that ball away. I thought the second goal, we pushed them out to the edge of the box, and just like what Power did to Fleetwood, they did to us right in the corner. Anywhere else but that corner, it wouldn't have been a goal, but it was an absolutely great strike. And at the end of the day, the first goal, we should never have let the first goal in.
Yeah.
What goes round comes round. We did to Fleetwood, Gillingham did the same to us.
Yeah, roles reversed, isn't it? Just yeah. Look, it's definitely obviously you've still got 9 games after this, but you could. I look at the table and it was sickening. Someone put up, I can't remember who it was on Twitter. Someone basically put 2 pictures up. One going into the start of stoppage time, one at the end of the game, and it's sickening when we've dropped from 61 to 59 points. But yeah, there you go. That's football, isn't it?
So 3 words to say how you feel on the last 3 matches.
Can the 2 pictures of Sean count as 2 words?
No.
Oh, okay. All right then. Not enough points. There you go.
I thought you were going to steal mine. Not very happy. There you go. There's my 3
I
words.
left it for you very specifically.
Exactly.
Very subtle that was, wasn't it?
So 96-minute equaliser. Are people overreacting? We let a goal in against Gillingham, who've only lost 2 matches against Wimbledon since 23rd of November. Playing decent football. Won 8, lost 8. Won 8, drawn 8, lost 2. They've got another draw now. They are like the old Jack Ross draw specialist of last season, Gillingham. So, they are a decent side, doing a decent job. Mr. Evans on the touchline. Everyone can see him from a distance. He's a big, larger-than-life character.
That was a bit of a comment on his weight, wasn't it?
But
Were you fat shaming there?
no, he's just a big, larger-than-life
You've got
character.
someone who's heavy built next to you, so come on.
He's
Well
all
built.
over the place. His arms are everywhere, but he's doing a great job at Gillingham. You have to give him the credit. Getting a draw yesterday, they played well. Mandron had a great game. Well done, Michael Mandron. I mean, you're saying you scored yesterday what you couldn't do for Sunderland, but this is your level. You weren't going to score in the Premier League or the Championship. I wouldn't have thought so anyway. This is your
probably
level.
not.
So well on you, well done. Scoring the 2 goals, and good luck to Gillingham. They're a solid middle table side. They weren't too far away from the playoffs, and they give us, a hard game. And I thought Lafferty had an absolute fantastic second half. I thought the first half was absolutely pathetic. It was dire. It was absolutely piss poor. How a team comes out and shows no passion. I mean, what's happened in the last 3 games is beyond me. It's obviously the teams now are finding us out. And now, if Phil Parkinson wants to prove to the world he can take it to the next level and he deserves to be the Sunderland manager in the Championship and not fail by staying in League One, it's down to him. The ball's in his court. He has a good bench of players to bring in now and rest some players. So what's he going to do? 3 games, Michael, now without a clean sheet. What's your thoughts on that? Do we bring in Tommy Smith?
The frustrating thing is that even before Bailey Wright came in, with the personnel that was there, we were keeping clean sheets still. So I don't know what it is. I do think, obviously, the last 3 games, the results are disappointing. But, I mean, 2 of them, well, you should be getting results to compete for the top end of the league. 2 of them were against Fleetwood and Coventry. So I'm not, I've kind of gone past them too. Whereas yesterday was... the funny thing is we've only conceded, 4 goals in... 4 goals since, the turn of the year or something? Whatever it is. But the problem is it's come in the last 3, so it doesn't really look very good, does it? I don't know. Do you have to shuffle? I don't know what you said about... I know this isn't specifically about the defence, but what you said about trying to chop and change a couple of players I think he needs to do now. He's got to. There's no... what Sean said earlier. We only made 1 change for the Gillingham game, and that was only because Charlie Wyke was out with a back problem. So if he wasn't injured, Lafferty wouldn't have started.
Yeah.
So I mean, Bailey Wright now it looks like it's going to be a big miss. I mean, he played really well when he came in. Pattinson found someone to come in to sail up the defence. Now, is Tommy Smith going to come in? Is he going to drop Ozturk, or is he going to bring in Lynch again?
I don't know. Either way, someone's going to have to step up and be the leader in that back line, though.
We need a leader in the back line. Yesterday there was nobody.
If we claim like the aim is to try and go for the top 2 or go up full stop, someone's got to take responsibility at the back. We can't keep shipping goals away.
I seen an interview yesterday, some lad interviewing some of the players before they were going into the game, and all the players were saying, yeah, we're going to win 3-0, we're going to win 2-0. So is that too much confidence? Are they being cocky? Are they taking these games, with a pinch of salt, thinking we can just turn up and win matches now? We're going to win these games.
That's the being politically correct. They can't say, I think we're going to draw, we're going to get beat. The managers and players have to say.
I cannot just say no comment. I talked to you after the match. every other time they won't speak to anybody, but now they're speaking to someone before the game and saying we're going to win this, we're going to win that. Should they not just speak just not say anything at all? Sign an autograph and say thanks, whatever, and just get on with it.
Well, it's one of them, isn't it? If they ignore the camera, they're like, the ignorant players, they don't want to do this, do that.
They can't win, can they?
But haven't they been told they can't do interviews? They're being told they can't do interviews. So now before the game, they're coming out and saying we're going to win 3-0. I know it's all tongue in cheek, but end of the day, if Gillingham players hear that, then they're going to say, are they taking the piss? We're going to turn up now. If we didn't have the motivation already, which I'm sure they will have anyway, it's a little bit extra motivation.
Well, if you're talking about motivation then, if we've been saying, we're going to win 2-3-0, that should be the kick up the backside they needed and use that motivation in coming games.
I'm sorry, but shouldn't there be motivation that the fact we've drew against Fleetwood, last minute, by the way, technically in that game we could have got beat easily, but it was a last minute winner for us, and then Coventry game, we got beat in the first 5 minutes. First 2 minutes, because he scored in the first 2 minutes, and then we didn't do now for the rest of the game. So, after our defeats, and the fact we could have been high up in the league, is that not motivation itself to bounce back from a defeat like Coventry and bounce back against Gillingham and win the Gillingham game?
Do you not think that has to be changes in the defence now? Because that's where the problem is. We're leaking goals again.
That's not the problem. The problem is we're not creating anything.
We've scored 2 goals. You keep a clean sheet, you win a game of football.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair enough, but...
At the end of the day, we were in front twice and we should have seen it out.
So there's something wrong somewhere in defence.
But then you can go on we should score more goals.
But if you keep a clean sheet, you only need 1 goal to win.
For the first goal, I think Ozturk kind of sort of jumped too soon. And when the ball went over him, he just basically went on his hands and knees. I was like, watching. I think, why are you not going back in trying to get stuck in? But then obviously the ball had gone back in the net. He seemed to be really slowed reaction. So there's something in that setup at this moment in time to let the goals in they're doing. They're coming out sloppy at the start of matches, letting a goal against Fleetwood and a goal against Coventry, and now 2 against Gillingham. So something's gone wrong in the defence.
Well, could you say this?
So we need to address that. So what do you think we can do? Could
you say this, that Ozturk, with him being dropped, has lost total motivation to play for Parkinson?
That's bollocks. Absolute bollocks. If you lose motivation...
I'm just sticking it out there.
I'm not saying this is my personal opinion. If a player's going to go in the huff, he can just... I tell you now, I don't want to swear on
well, you kind of have already. So.
If a player loses motivation, the manager should see it straight away. He should know, being an experienced manager straight away. So for me, it's just sloppiness. We need to get the sloppiness back out of the defenders. What is your perfect back 3 now? Would you bring in Tommy Smith or keep the same 3?
Well, I don't know much about Tommy Smith. For we know he's worse than what we've got.
He wouldn't have brought him in, would he?
Oh, have you seen some of the players we brought in? We don't even play them. So,
but he brought in Bailey Wright and he was absolute class, wasn't he?
Aye, he was good, but he brought in Semenyo, he brought in Scowen, who's according to championship player, but we don't play him. So what would make Tommy Smith any different at any sign we've actually made? Bailey Wright's the only one who's actually getting the game. Lafferty only got his game yesterday because Charlie White wasn't injured.
So you're happy with the defence at this moment?
No, I'm not happy at all.
So who would you bring in?
Who would I bring in? Right, probably Lynch for a start. I think Flanagan's starting to get back to his old ways. I think Flanagan is starting to...
Flappy Flanagan.
I didn't want to disrespect the bloke because he's been playing really well, but with the Bailey Wright injury has totally affected the team, and you can tell.
Have they all lost confidence all of a sudden?
I think it's since Bailey Wright.
Bailey Wright's another captain, and Bailey Wright's an organiser as well as Willis. So when you take one organiser out and then you put Ozturk in there, Ozturk's not really a leader, he's a no-nonsense defender, but you're playing him in the centre.
So Tuesday night against Bristol Rovers, would you leave it the way it is now, or would you tinker with something?
I'd tinker with something because it's not working.
So what would you tinker with?
I'd tinker
out of the back four. out of the back four, what would you tinker with?
Oh my God.
Just the defence.
Just the defence.
That's where the problem is.
Right. I bring Lynch in, and I'm deciding, do I take Flanagan out or do I take Ozturk out? Because Ozturk's been really making a lot of mistakes, and he does make a lot of mistakes, but so does Flanagan. But I think Flanagan's had the better run in the team because he's been in when it's been clean sheets. So for me, probably Ozturk, because Flanagan's been in that defence when it's been
it was working really well,
and it was working really well. And then Ozturk's come in, and then all of a sudden we've conceded. So
that's all I'm after, some straight talking.
That's all I offer, mate.
That's what you've got.
But I think it might be time for Denver Hume to be dropped as well. But what's going on with Declan John?
It's because there's no space on the bench for him. He hasn't got the space.
Make space.
He hasn't. He can't, because, like I said before, 09 can go to the left wing back, but there's nobody who can go to the right. Is that right?
No, you got McLaughlin.
McLaughlin play both sides, can't he?
I think the reason why it's in that Declan John there was because they've got Luke 09 who can go on the left, and Conor McLaughlin can do both. Mm-hmm. But there's nobody who can go onto the right.
Right, so why do you need Semenyo and Watmore then? You've got Semenyo and Watmore. They probably both play the same positions, so why do you need two of them? You don't? You don't need one?
I think he needed cover in the central defensive place. That's why he couldn't bring in another sort of right back. When you got Conor McLaughlin there as well, he couldn't bring in somebody else.
Aye, but then you take away either... For me, Scowen's not somewhere not even playing, so he might as well not even be on the bench.
We need a centre midfielder, surely.
But he's not playing him.
He so what's the point?
He's got to start playing him.
No, I agree with you, but the problem is that for whatever reason, Scowen has been touted as championship player. Right, why is he not playing then?
Because
why aren't we seeing
him?
For
me, in Phil Patterson's mind, he thinks Power and Dobson's doing a good enough job.
Okay.
Right, so we've got your defenders. We're going to move on to Sean now for his defensive thing, and then we'll move on to midfield in a bit.
Well, for me, obviously Willis is he's standout defender. I don't know why I kind of play Willis in the centre, play Flanagan right, and then Lynch on the left. Take Ozturk out. I would do what Dino says. Take Ozturk out and bring Lynch in.
It's a bit hard.
Tommy Smith, I don't know if he's match fit. What he's about, we didn't really know. I mean, it's a bit of a risk I would see with Tommy Smith. So I'll play like the back three. I'll do Willis, Flanagan and Lynch.
They've been playing some behind closed games. It was a Carlisle 5 something. So Tommy Smith must have been playing that match, surely.
He
must be fit. He's been at the club now 3 or 4 weeks. If he is not fit, then he shouldn't be at the club at the age of 29. So that's your defence. Would you keep Hume there?
No, do you know what? Denver Hume's been really underperforming. I tell you what, he's weak as. I'm trying not to
weak as piss.
He is really badly. I mean, I noticed down Coventry, he's getting thinking off the ball too easy. He's too lightweight. He needs to go into the gym and lift some weights. He does. Seriously, he's weak as outright. But then it'll play the left wing back. That's why you got a bit of a problem. Declan John, he's not in the squad, so. What do you do there? I mean, so for me, and I'm moving to the midfield, but I think that's our problems as well. Yesterday, I could see it, blatantly see it. We've got Dobson, who grassed his arse off, right? He runs up, he's actually doing 2 jobs. I think Power, he just gets Power sits in front of the back three, gets it, and he just passes it side to side. Dobson is a defensive midfielder, but he's trying to drive forward. Do you know what I mean? That's not his job. Do you know what I mean? So, but then you've got a problem because Power is the captain. But he shouldn't be invincible. If he's not playing well, if he's not good enough, he should be dropped for Scowen. It's simple as that for me, right?
So, if you want to drop Hume, then obviously we've got to get Declan John in. He is fit. He's a young lad. He is fit. I'm under the impression, and I've heard that he is fit. He just kind of get on the bench for space-wise. So, he could just do a straight swap. You bring John in, and you drop Hume. I think Hume needs a rest. What about Luke 09? Is he still doing a good job on the right side?
I think Luke 09's just Mr. Reliable, like Jordan Willis. I think 09 he gives you 100% every game. And yesterday wasn't great yesterday, but I mean, you're looking at his faults in the team, and I think Hume just stands out now. He's delivering, and he made the delivery for the goal. It was a cracking cross, but how many times has he done that in the last few games? His final delivery's terrible, and he gets pushed off the ball way too easy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
He's a good player, but he's a bit small as well when he comes back for his defensive duties, isn't he? So, Michael, your defensiveness again, we're going back to the defensive three partnership at the back and obviously the wing backs. Is there anything you would change for the Bristol Rovers match? Are you content to let more goals in?
Oh, definitely. It's brilliant. I don't know, probably what the other two have said. Actually, you know, well, Lynch came on yesterday, didn't he, for stoppage time?
Yeah.
I think, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So obviously it depends how, because obviously, thank God Lynch is back, by the way, but yeah, probably. Well, why not? I think Ozturk or Flanagan's hit or miss for me. I think you could take. I think one of them two needs to come out, and I think Lynch needs to come in, because I think if you're going into a challenge like Bristol Rovers tend to be they've got Clark Harris up front, who's a very direct player. You need someone who's going to be a bit no nonsense. I don't know. I think I would have probably, if I had to pick off the top of my head, Lynch, Willis, and Ozturk, but Ozturk could easily come out for me. I think you've got to keep at least two of the centre back the same, because as much as we're conceding at the minute, if you're going to keep dropping and changing the defenders, it's just going to cause more confusion at the back.
I was just pointing at the subs, Michael.
Go on, what are the subs?
The first sub was 81, which is Ozturk for Semenyo. So he went 4-4-2, and then he took Chris Maguire for Josh Scowen, and obviously Denver Hume for
Well, he brought Josh Scowen on. How late was that?
85. Do you know what I mean?
Phil Parkinson, just so we don't get confused here. What?
Well, I would
come on.
I would drop Hume, give Hume a rest. I think Hume needs a bit of time out now.
Yeah.
It's the game or so, just to recover and get a bit more confidence. And I think I would bring John in if he's fit, and he should be fit, a young lad. He should be fit as a butcher's dog for me. So I'd bring him in. I possibly would drop Flanagan or Ozturk. I'm not sure. I need to know personally what they're like with the personal circumstances, what the heads are like, to be honest, what Ozturk's heads are like.
Point.
I need to know if he's in the right place, if he's pulling his weight, which if he's playing the matches, he should be pulling his weight and giving all the right signs when he's training. So one of them has to be dropped. And if it depends on, I mean, I don't know how fit Tommy Smith is, but if he is fit and he's had all those games in the Championship with Ipswich, for me, he should do a job. He should be like Bailey Wright and probably come straight in.
Mm-hmm. But arguably, yeah. But what you've said about Declan John, though, because obviously I haven't. Why have we signed him? If he's not going to be on the bench, then what was the point of getting him?
It was covered. We had no cover for Hume, and Hume was doing such a good job and winning all those matches. He brought him in for cover because he had no cover at all.
When you talk,
and there's been no space on the bench for him because we didn't have space for a left wing back.
Take Conor McLaughlin out and put Dengham down.
No, you take Watmore Semenyo out. Take Watmore out. He's not playing. He's not getting on.
Neither is Conor McLaughlin.
Do you know what
He's
I mean? McLaughlin's obviously, if 09 gets injured, he can go there. Watmore isn't getting used. You've got Semenyo there. Semenyo does both positions, left and right. He's been put on the left, he's been put on the right.
What you've just said is the ultimate problem, though. Parkinson again, and Sean mentioning those subs. Did you notice how with the subs, once we went 1-0 up, I think there was one of these players might have been ready to come on, but once we went 1-0 up, just sit back on the subs bench, mate. Right? Okay. Oh, right. It's 1-1. Okay. Now we'll bring someone on. Oh, we're 2-1. Oh, right. Okay. We'll just leave it as it is.
Semenyo was warming up for about half an hour.
No,
it was ridiculous.
Yeah, and I thought Semenyo looked fairly bright when he came on. Actually,
every time he comes
on,
looks
this is the thing. And to be honest, I even said for Saturday's game, I would have started Semenyo and given Gooch the drop, because I think he needs to kick the backside. No, we need you to get back your standard how you were in January and maintain that.
But Maguire was blown out his arse after 70 minutes. He's absolutely knackered. You can tell.
And you can tell we're relying on Maguire to be the focal point to creating anything. So
maybe it's with this fitness regime what Philip Parkinson set. Like you see, Declan John, maybe he's not hitting and Tommy Smith are not hitting the levels of what he wants them at. Maybe they're just far away.
Well, what's that going to do for Hume though? When it's but I've got no one coming in, so I can just stay in the team. Look, I agree with you. I think Hume put in a very, very good quality cross for the first goal. I thought Hume was better yesterday than what he had been for the games prior to that. But if he drops backwards again, you need to send a message and say no, your standards have got to be kept high, otherwise you're out of the team.
I think a few other players the standards has dropped, Michael, as you said, and I think when that happens, if you haven't got players to bring in, they think exactly. They need competition there.
Hopefully it's realised before it's too late.
So we'll go into central midfield. I thought yesterday, that pass from Dobson for Lafferty was absolutely...
That was quality.
I mean, I'm going to say that was one of the best passes I've seen from the central midfield players for a long time. It was a great finish from Lafferty, and I thought we need to see more of Dobson doing that. And yesterday, I don't even know what Max Power did yesterday, personally. I really don't know what he brought to the side yesterday. I thought Dobson, like I said, he wasn't fantastic either, but he did break up the play and he did provide that brilliant pass for Lafferty. And then for me, after that, we've got to find a way to keep them from scoring goals. But I think we've got to start bringing Scowen. Never mind, because Max Power's the captain. Maybe he should like just have a little bit of a rest as well, and possibly bring in Scowen, or at half time make the substitutions a little bit earlier and be more proactive than reactive. But what's your thoughts on the central midfielders first, Michael? Would you change anything, or are you happy to leave it the way it is?
Good. I'm going to say I probably would drop Power.
Hey!
Let's make this crystal clear. It's not because he's not good enough. It's because I think that in recent games he hasn't done as much as he could do. And not to mention, again, however many times I've said it, and I'll say it every damn week until he starts. Scowen clearly, my mates were at Tranmere and they said Scowen looked one of the best players on the pitch by a distance. So in which case, Parkinson, go on, play him. Why? How many times are we saying it? Why are we not seeing him? What's the point of bringing all these players in again if you're not going to bother to use them?
No, I hate when managers are stubborn. I mean, I'm 100% behind Parkinson, and I've loved what he's done so far. But then it gets to a point when other teams find you out, and this is when you see what managers are made of. Exactly. And I hate when managers are that stubborn; they won't change things, even though it drives me up. They've got to, otherwise it's his job on the line. You've got to try and have a plan B, and you bring in people into the team. You bring in your transfers in. Surely you brought them in for a reason. They've got to have something about them. They've got to, when players dip in form in the side, you've got to be able to bring these other players in, be man enough to say, right, it's time to make a change. I know what I need to do, and just do it. So what's your thoughts on the central midfielder, Dean?
Well, on the Parkinson thing, it's starting to wind me up now. It's winding me up.
Agreed.
Why wait till the 81st minute to make subs? It's junk minutes. Nobody wants to come on the 81st minute. Nobody wants to come on the 85th minute. You're demoralising certain players. Players don't want to come on for that time. The game's gone. The game's practically done. What are you going to do in 5 minutes? Unless you're actually really world-class player who can make a difference in a couple of minutes. We don't have that. You've got to let them come on earlier to make a difference. The menu can't do anything in 10 minutes, man.
Spot on.
I mean, we're being beat, twice now, and the only times I've ever changed things is when it's forced on him. An injury. Lafferty, it was forced on him to bring him in. If he had it his way, Lafferty wouldn't have started it, and we probably wouldn't even had 2 goals, and we would have probably... And let's not forget, we should have got beat yesterday. Was it yesterday?
John McLaughlin.
John McLaughlin kept winning the game.
2 world-class saves.
3? I'd say 3. I think it was 3.
2 of that scene, honestly. 2 world-class saves.
Do you know what I mean? So we should have got beat yesterday. Let's not forget that. McLaughlin.
It's embarrassing when we're saying that at home to Gillingham.
This is what I'm saying about...
For a team that wants to go up, I'm sorry. I don't care about Gillingham's running form. We should be winning that game.
This is what I'm saying about us so lately. When you suffer a defeat, it's a good time to look at the squad and see I need a reaction here. To 2 or 3 changes. Do you know what I mean? That's when you look at things. That this went wrong, that went wrong. But it just seems like he's just Parkinson's. I'm relying on this 11.
I will put up an apple on something on the table here. Do you think Parkinson's had it in mind that when we lost to Pompey, we responded with 4 straight wins?
We did.
It doesn't mean you'll respond that way every single time, but I'm just thinking, would that be in his mindset?
Teams is figuring this out, Michael. I think the system teams is figuring this out, and he needs to change not just the personnel, but the system as well.
But you draw against Fleetwood last minute, right? So there's one signs right there, because I didn't watch the game, unfortunately, because I was at work, but my dad says we did hit the bar. We had a lot of the ball but done nothing with it. So there's a creative problem straight away, right? And your most creative player is supposed to be your centre midfielders. They're the one who's supposed to ping balls left, right, go forward, do all this stuff. Our centre midfielders do not do that. This is why teams figure us out, because our centre mids do not go forward. Dobson's first forward pass was an assist. Why don't they do that more often? Lafferty put himself in a position for a through pass and Dobson played it. Normally that pass would never get played because we like to play in front of their team. We go sideways, backwards. And the centre midfield is a big focal point of that, because I watch Power, and Power normally just stands in the centre back position. Why?
If Power's going to sit there, you need somebody next to him who's going to drive it forward, and then he put like Dobson. He's grafting, putting tackles in, but it's not really his job. He's not a attacking midfielder. I don't know what Scowen's like. I've heard he's got the corner the rat. He can do the tackling, this, that, and the other. I'd stop. When he comes in, he's got that pass that unlock the door. You know what I mean?
Even then, though, you've got 2 wing backs who get up and down the pitch, and you've got a front 3 on top of that as well.
That's what I'm saying. If your 2 centre midfielders is sitting deep, Michael, you can't support the front 3.
I said, I think you can afford one of them to. I think you can afford, if you have to, have one of them sit further. Like further back, but then both your wing backs need to be supporting the attack lines. And obviously you need Dobson to.
Let's not forget, Luke O'Nien isn't even a wing back. He's not even a right back. He's playing out of position and he's doing a job. Imagine if we actually had a right back who could actually play it, like who's actually a good delivery. Like, don't get us wrong, O'Nien's doing a solid job there. But I've always said I prefer him in the centre of the park. I feel like he'd offer a lot more than what Power does because he gets forward, he runs past people, but he's doing a hell of a job on the right. And we've always said, I'd rather have him on the pitch on the right back than not have him on the pitch at all. But I think it's the centre mid's just our main problem at the minute because we're doing nothing in the centre of the pitch.
I have noticed that other teams, other managers do play different formations. They don't play the same rigid formation we play in, week out, 3-4-3. They're chopping and changing their
Tactical
formations.
adaptability.
So now
is needed.
other managers have found a way to get behind our defence, find a way to break us down now, and we're becoming an easy target at this moment in time.
This is the annoying thing, though. Like, we keep saying about Bailey Wright, but let's remember that I think it was Bailey Wright's first start at the Tranmere game. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Because he dropped us.
Right. So assuming it is. So look at the 3 games before that. Right. Sunderland 4, Wickham 0, kept a clean sheet. MK Dons 0, Sunderland 1, kept a clean sheet. Sunderland 0, Donny 0, kept a clean sheet. So we can clearly keep clean sheets without Bailey, right? So why is it different now? What's going on now then?
So you're going to bring in another defender and change whom? So there's 2 changes. Would you change the centre midfield against Bristol Rovers on Tuesday?
Like I said earlier, Scowen's got to come in.
So would you make 3 changes for that match?
And as much as I do like Power, I will sacrifice him for Scowen.
Dean?
I'd bring Scowen in and drop Power. Power's not been doing half enough of what he should be doing. I just feel like at the minute he's just a passenger on the team, just organising, and being an organiser. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. You need to do a lot more.
Has Parkinson got a plan B?
I was just about to mention that there.
No, of course he hasn't. Of course he hasn't got a plan B. Like, he'll chuck on another striker, so like we've seen the times where he chucks Lafferty and White
Makes
up front,
it look like
but still the same tactic. Hoof the ball up with the big lads.
When the going gets tough get going, right, it's 10 games to go. Phil Parkinson, he's got 9 games now.
I was just about to say that.
But, 10 games to go, 30 points to play for, now 27. You know, if he doesn't change things around, it could be the playoffs, we could even slip out. It's getting tight.
Do you know the embarrassing thing? I heard a stat that if we've got to win all 9 games, and it'll put on the same tally as last season, but we've got to win all 9 games. That's terrible.
That's bad, that thing.
So
in saying that, the rest of the league isn't as good, mate, as it was last year.
Respect to Michael for saying about Power, because, like you say, we've had the discussion while saying about Power.
I'm still sticking to my opinion on Power, but I do think I would drop him, yeah.
But Power's got to be... although he's captain, he's got to come at the team, and Scowen's got to come in, because I think Dobson's been brilliant lately. I think he's been on... Well,
will Phil Parkinson change anything?
Probably not, no.
Any other lineup? Will he keep the same centre midfielders?
I think. Do you know what? I think he will. I think they'll keep Power in there, Dobson, for the next game. I think he'll just stick the same team. What started?
I think there was one change.
If he brings White in for,
I was going to say that's one change I could see him making. Dropping Laughing, and I'm sorry, if White starts again, then nah.
There's something I want to say, and it's not very nice, but I'm going to go on to Dean, because Dean, you've been known for It's the End of the World, Elgar. Dean, you have put your shirt on the line, put your reputation on the line, saying that we will not make the playoffs. Is it possible now that we might miss out on the playoffs?
I've said this for all along. I've been saying it for months.
The top 8 are all there.
I've said this for months. I've said when teams knock. I have. Don't be.
Oh yeah, you have. But there's no way.
No, there's no way. Look at the 2 teams outside the playoffs. It's 2 points in it. I think Oxford's on 57. We're on 59. Right?
Oxford are on 60. We're on 59.
Right. So Oxford are now. So right. He's going to get it up, right? Folks,
Organiser.
Right. So you're telling me we can't even beat Gillingham, we can't beat Fleetwood, we can't beat Coventry, right?
There's the tables.
You've still got Peterborough to play.
You've got Wickham out of the playoffs now, and they've been in the top 2 our season. Fleetwood's out of the playoffs.
3 points of second place and 9 games to play still.
Yeah,
right.
But we don't have. They've got a game in hand over us. Fleetwood's got a game in hand over us, but they've got to play Portsmouth
they've got some tough
next
games.
weekend or during the week.
Just to address the game in hand thing, why is it every time last season I brought up games in hand, everyone's argument was exactly the same? We've got to win them. So why are we all of a sudden now assuming that everyone else is going to win their games in hand?
No,
we can't have it both ways. You've got to have it.
I didn't see that.
No, not you. I mean, fans on Twitter were replying to me like, "Oh, you've got to win your games in hand."
Right. Right. So
just because people have got games in hand doesn't mean they're going to win them.
We've got Peterborough to play, right? Sorry, I don't think we can win that game.
Then we could draw it. I don't mind.
Them have got 2 goals scored, so we can't. Aye, Peter Brad just always seem to do us. We haven't beat them yet.
They're hot and cold, I think.
We haven't beat them yet.
They are hot and cold. They go through a run where they score about 20 goals in 5 games, but they go on a run where they
guess what? Everyone turns up for the Sunderland game.
Where are we going to finish?
Because we're everyone's big fish.
You know what, right?
In the playoffs, out the playoffs.
You know what people are saying? Oh, Wembley trip. What makes people think we're going to make it to Wembley anyway? You're telling me we could be we could get
Portsmouth,
Peterborough, with Fleetwood, who we haven't beat, and Oxford, who we barely scraped a result against.
Everybody else has got each other to play though. Portsmouth, Fleetwood, Oxford, Portsmouth, Wickham, Rotherham, Fleetwood, Rotherham. So everyone's got each other.
People need to get out of their head that it'll be another Wembley trip. I've got no confidence that we can actually beat the semi-final team.
You pointed out the fixtures, right? So yeah, we have got Peterborough and we've got Rotherham left to play. Rotherham, bearing in mind, are bang out of form, worse than us, by the way. Then you've also got Bristol Rovers, you've got Blackpool, you've got Shrewsbury, you've got Wimbledon, you've got Accrington, you've got Southend, you've got Burton. Granted, Burton always Burton somehow always seem to get one over on us. So it's about time we beat them again.
Accrington beat teams. Accrington's beat Portsmouth. Accrington's beat other teams. Who else did you say, sorry?
Accrington lost yesterday to Tranmere.
They lost to Tranmere Rovers at home, who were in the relegation zone.
Them still beat the odd team, though. Who else did you say? Sorry?
Bristol Rovers, who we beat 3-0 a couple of weeks ago.
Right, Bristol Rovers, fair enough. Shrewsbury, we got beat. Fair enough, we're better than them, but we still got beat, right?
Yeah, but you got them at home. We're a home run form.
Home and away makes no difference.
It does. We've lost one game.
So it makes a difference.
How many games at home have we lost this season?
Doesn't matter.
In the league?
Doesn't matter.
It's not the question. How many games have we lost at home this season?
I'll tell you one.
Exactly.
But guess what though? You go like that, right?
Well, yeah, for a reason, because we're good at better at home than we are away.
We played Coventry away. Coventry don't even play at their home. That's not their home stadium. But they're top of the league, so they're playing away every single game.
Yeah, and we're not going to catch Coventry, but we're not talking about Coventry. We're talking about second.
Right, we're not going to get it.
It's good. I don't know. 3 times a second.
Home and away doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference.
Let's have a timeout. I'm going to clear what these two are talking about. Right. So, are we going to finish in the top 6? No. Sean?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, if we're happy with being in League One another season, then no. Well, I think we'll be in the top 6.
No, we'll be in the top 6.
No, I know as in I was trying to get to the next bit of the conversation.
Easy.
Just because time's getting on, I want to start another subject. Right?
I wish I had your conference.
Yesterday I saw Will Grigg warming up for about 45 minutes.
And didn't come
Is
on.
it time for Will Grigg to get a start, either brought on a sub or start a match? Michael?
With Lafferty scoring 2 goals yesterday, no. But if it's him v Wyke up front, yes, easily.
Can we not play Grigg and Lafferty up front?
You're requiring Phil Parkinson to be adaptable and change something.
Just put it out there.
Yeah, but I don't think it would hurt having Grigg and Lafferty, but again, what Dino has said about Grigg in the past is bang on though. Grigg has had enough chances to try and step up. Come on, he surely can offer more than White. He's got to step up if he's got to step up if he's back in the team.
Let's pretend it's Freaky Friday and you jumped into Phil Parkinson's body and you were Phil Parkinson for Tuesday night. Would you play
where's this
a different
analogy
system?
going?
Would you play a different system? Would you bring in Lafferty and Grigg together? Lafferty and Grigg together. We'll just leave it one up front the same.
I don't know. I'd probably go a 4-3-3 personally.
Right.
But again, it's not as simple as that. There's going to be different players suiting different formations and systems and personnel and everything. Yeah, but if you're going to have... to be honest, I would probably... Okay, I'll go with this then. I'd go with the front 3 of Maguire, Lafferty and Semenyo. I wouldn't start... I'd have Grigg on the bench, but if we need a goal, don't wait until it's like 80th minute to bring him on. Bring him on about the 60th minute, between 60 or 70 minutes if we need a goal. Simple as that.
So yesterday I was watching Will Grigg on the touchline by the corner flag. I don't know if he was doing a bit of rock and roll and he was singing with the flag, but you can see he was eager to come on.
Oh God.
Not Elgar to come on, he's eager to come on. So Dean Elgar, would you put Will Grigg anywhere on the pitch, or do we just leave him on the bench, or do you take him out of the bench and just leave him in the under 23s?
I think I know what his answer's going to be to this.
Well, yeah, you might be surprised actually, Michael, right? For me, Will Grigg should offer more than White because he's a proven goal scorer by his record. I always say records mean nothing because players don't adapt to certain areas and certain teams. But we always say we need a goal scorer. Will Grigg is our goal scorer, but we don't have a play style to play to his strengths. That's why we play hoofball to Lafferty and Wyke. But if you want to get a goal, I'm more confident Grigg getting a goal than Wyke because Wyke shows nothing to me that he even deserves to even be in the team. He only was up there because no one else could take his place, and Parks likes Wyke for some for some reason. I don't know why. But Lafferty showed yesterday that Lafferty is better than Wyke. Lafferty proved that yesterday.
100%.
He's faster,
100%.
he's sharper, better on the ball.
100%.
He wins more headers. He won more aerial
Gets his
duels
syllabus,
in that
yeah.
one
First
game
goal was a header,
than Wyke won in his whole Sunderland career. And he just looks better on the ball. He just looks the part up front. He looks load better than Wyke. So I think Wyke, I think that should be his Sunderland. Unfortunately, I think that should be his end of his Sunderland career. To be honest, like unless injuries play a part in him coming back in the team, but I don't think he should be in the starting 11.
Shouldn't even be in the squad for me.
Yeah,
to be
true.
honest.
So Lafferty yesterday in the first half was poor like the rest of the team, but it might have took him 45 minutes to get warmed up, to get adapted to the situation. Hasn't had much game time. Second half he was class, and he's going to be starting 100% against Bristol Rovers, Phil, on Tuesday night. So would you
There you
bring
go,
in
Phil.
Wyke as
You're
well?
told.
No.
Sorry, Grigg.
I would bring him on, maybe give him 25 minutes, say we might be 2-0 up.
Leave Lafferty on, bring him with Lafferty.
I don't know. I don't think Parkinson will go for that. I don't think
He won't
Parkinson.
change the system when
He
he
won't
back.
change the
Yeah.
system. So
Right.
for me, if he thinks Lafferty's getting a bit tired, because don't forget that was his first night. Was he on for 90 minutes yesterday?
Something like that, or at least for a good
If he was on,
85
that's
minutes
his
or so.
first full 80 minutes, 90 minutes in how many months? So
God, yeah.
obviously he will probably cramp up. He probably will be fatigued a little bit because he hasn't played that much football for a long time. So that's the perfect time to bring in Greg for about 25 minutes and give him a go. See if this system plays like works for him. But I think I just don't think Griggs' heart's in it, to be honest. Like, I know he's on the bench, but I think it's just because
If you're going to bring Grigg on at Bristol Rovers, and if you do it with 25 minutes, go with Blackpool in mind at the weekend. I wouldn't be against that as long as you see the game out.
Sean,
if we're in that situation.
I've been crying for Will Grigg to come back in, like I must admit. I know you say, well, he's had enough chances, this, that and the other, but I just think maybe he needs a goal. But obviously, yesterday when Lafferty come in, I was out of the moon because he scored the 2 goals as well. So now, where's the stand for Grigg? I don't know, because I think, like you say, he'll not change the system. So I'm hoping Lafferty starts on Tuesday, because you know what I mean. If he brings Wyke back in, I think there'll be a lot of people unhappy. But I would still bring Grigg on. Maybe he's, like as Dean says, if we're winning 2, not even winning. You know, if it's just to impact the game, last 20 minutes, give him 20 minutes. I don't know why he's going to slot him in, because if he attacks Lafferty off, then he's going to have to play him in that system. But you know what I mean.
So are these tears of a clown? Or are you going to be drying your eyes, mate, when he actually plays Will Grigg?
No.
Cries of joy. Tears of joy.
I just think he needs a goal, mate. Like Will Grigg, but I know his lads said he's had enough chances. But if he gets a goal, he could can. You know what? He could. The 9 games left. He could bring him in, and he could be a
Secret weapon.
secret weapon.
No one's expecting anything, so let's use it.
So there's one more position I want to talk about before we move on to man of the match, and is Gooch. How do you feel Gooch is performing at this moment in time, Michael?
But
Does he deserve his place still?
No, I don't think he does. I think Gooch, when he came back in initially for about half a dozen games, maybe slightly longer, was very, very good. The problem is, once again, I mean, he didn't do it as much from what I can remember yesterday, but it's always the constant, oh, I'm going to dribble. Oh, right, no, I'll still dribble. Oh, they still want to pass. No, I'll keep dribbling. Oh, I've lost the ball. Like, it's, you know, to be fair though, I can't question Gooch has got the hunger and desire, which all of our players should be having, by the way. But with Gooch, I like it. I do like his work rate a lot. The problem is that he sometimes thinks the game is about himself, and I think I would have started Semenyo for a couple of reasons. One, to give Gooch a kick up the backside to say that your place is not guaranteed. You need to be up to the standard consistently that you were setting when you came back into the team. And secondly, because I would imagine Gillingham wouldn't have known as much about Semenyo as they would have done about Gooch. Mm-hmm. Be unpredictable. So he's exactly that's the thing I would do against Bristol Rovers. Semenyo's got a bit more raw pace than Gooch. He's a bit more direct than Gooch. I know Gooch is pretty direct, but Semenyo's by the looks of him, a little bit physically stronger than Gooch. I would start him on Tuesday, but as far as Gooch is concerned, he'd probably stay in because Parkinson doesn't like to change anything.
I just think Gooch, he's played that well, like recently up until the last 3 or 4 games. He's run himself into the ground. And if you have that saying, a change can do you good, and I think that's probably what Semenyo coming in just for a couple of games. Do you know what I mean?
Just swap them, so Gooch on the bench, Semenyo starts.
Just give him a rest and then recharge the
Gooch
batteries.
might be good coming off the bench,
and then bring him back in a couple of games. But I think Semenyo has come on, and Semenyo's been playing really well. Like, but I think that's what it is. I think we just need to just give him a rest for a couple of games, bring Semenyo in, mix it up, and
same as the Hume argument, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Give him a bit of a break.
Dean,
what was the question?
Is Gooch need of a rest, or do you think he still has one to take?
To be honest, I think Maguire and Gooch are in need for a rest, mate. Like, I think Maguire and Gooch have been really off the pace. I think both of them. I know, obviously, you can't really drop both because I mean you've got to trust Watmore on the wing, and obviously we all know Watmore. Well, he's not exactly a Maguire or a Gooch, is he? He's very direct, but he's very.
His legs have gone to a degree, haven't they?
It's not his legs are gone. He just dribbles off the pitch all the time, and he hasn't really got any final end product, which is a shame because he likes to go past people, and he does do that very well.
Yeah.
But his final pass and his final shots always lacked, and obviously his injuries haven't helped. But one of them's got to be dropped because Maguire looks knackered after 70 minutes. Gooch has been very inconsistent, but we've got to remember in League One players will get consistent. I mean, inconsistent. Consistent, yeah, sorry.
Do you mean consistently crap?
He just went from there and then just slide and start declining. But that's been like most players. Like Flanagan was up there last couple of games, decline, and same with Power. Do you know what I mean?
So basically, on this bench today, we're basically saying the only players we should start from the team on Tuesday is John McLaughlin, Dobson, Luke O'Nien, and Jordan Willis. I know that's not going to happen, like, because it's ridiculous. We can't do that, but they're the only ones that deserve their
Did you see
place.
Lafferty there as well? Did you see Lafferty in there?
Lafferty, obviously,
I
because
think
he's just come
he
in
did,
Lafferty. I meant Lafferty as well. Like.
We'll end up watching that back and see.
No, I didn't say Lafferty, but the main ones he's
is, if you're going to change, for me, I would make just 2 or 3 changes, because it's not like you're changing a whole starting 11, is it? The core of the team is still pretty much going to be the same. You're just going to tweak one personnel in, say, up front, midfield, defence, whatever. If you just tweak one player in each section of the pitch, it's not like you're changing the whole dynamic of the team, is it?
If he's max 3 changes on Tuesday. But I mean, like Denver Hume, he's not going to change Denver Hume because Declan John hasn't even been. Has he been on the bench yet?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So that's out the window straight away unless you change the formation, and I don't think he's going to do that.
And he's not going to drop Max Power.
No.
Do you know what the silly thing is? Right, we brought Ethan Robson back from loan, not being seen on site.
Been injured, hasn't he?
I think he came back, and he
got picked up in another
we seen Elliot Embleton there yesterday.
Come back from injury.
Elliot Embleton's coming back from injury. Hopefully he can hopefully he can be back next week, give another option. And then we've loaned Bolly Mumba out to South Shields. I mean, this was a kid who was supposed to be the next big thing. Bolly Mumba went to South Shields, and we all had high hopes for the bloke. He played his first game in the Jack Ross era. When with the first home game we played at with Charlton, and then he just disappeared off the face of the earth, and now he's at Shields. Do you reckon that's the end of his Sunderland career now?
Maybe he's just not came through the way that everyone thought he was going to. Might not have progressed as much as we thought he was going to. So Dean, man of the match yesterday. Is anybody there deserve to be man of the match?
Yeah, God. Lafferty, just for a simple fact, he scored 2 goals, he put himself about, won aerial duels more than Mike ever has done, and you know, 2 goals. A lot of pressure on the bloke, don't forget. First start, a lot of pressure, because obviously we're not exactly playing the best. We haven't won in the last 3 games, and then he's got to jump in and try and get them goals, and he got 2, and he looked good. So for me, Lafferty for the 2 goals and what he was doing, he's all round general player.
Do you think John McLaughlin commands his area really well, and does he actually put his authority onto the centre backs?
Debatable. I don't. He doesn't look that kind of keeper. I shout at his centre backs and that. But the thing is, though, he makes up for a good shot stopping because he saved us yesterday.
I was going to say,
he really saved us yesterday. He could even claim man of the match. That
was obviously come to me. That was man of the match. I was going to say out the box. I was going to say George Dobson because I thought he was brilliant in the middle again, like his energy and tackles. He obviously got an assist. But John McLaughlin, my 2 world-class saves. I mean, you said 3.
I think there might be 3.
2. Well, I thought
it was a goal. I thought the man John scored. I thought it was in the top corner, and how he saved. I didn't know. So, I mean, if he never made them 2 saves, we might be sitting there and saying we got beat and not 1 point. Man
of the match, Michael.
Probably Lafferty. I think it'd probably be a mixture of either Lafferty or Dobson, but Lafferty for the 2 goals. Considering again that is his. I think Dean said that's his first start. And regardless of how many months without playing football, I know he's played 10 minutes here and there, but it's not the same as starting. So I think he's done much more than Wyke's done in the last 10 games for me.
I'm sure he's only 3 goals behind Wyke now, and he's only played a couple of games.
No, actually, yeah. I was looking at this yesterday. I was trying to count how many goals Wyke scored, and I think my mates were surprised. Like, I think it's 3 goals. No, it's 5. What, that many? Like, yeah. You're right though. In the league, he's nearly halfway to Charlie Wyke, and he's only played 1 start.
That's the difference between going up
Exactly.
in playoffs.
A 20
and
plus
not
goal.
getting
Can you imagine if we had a 20 plus goal scorer this season?
Now, don't get me wrong. We're not saying Lafferty's. We're not going to say. We're not saying Lafferty's going to
would have been
do.
up
We're
by
not. We're not saying Lafferty's going to do this every game, obviously. But I would back him to score a hell of a lot more goals than Wyke.
Definitely.
For me, Lafferty was man of the match for the second half. The first half, I give it John McLaughlin because he didn't have a goal in, because the rest of the team were absolutely useless in the first half, as far as I'm concerned. It's just my opinion. There was no drive, no ambition. Anybody wanted to put the ball in the back of the net. Anybody wanted to win that game in the first half. For me, it was just like they just thought they'd turn up and Gillingham would roll over. That's just my opinion.
Hopefully, it's a lesson for them.
And they've been sloppy the two previous games. We'll quickly go on to the two previous games, Fleetwood and Coventry. What went wrong, Michael? Just a quick brief summary.
Didn't keep clean sheets in either game. Gave the other both teams far too much respect and didn't assert our authority enough.
Dean?
Joey Barton got their players up for the game. They nicked an early goal, which is always a bad. I think it was first 5 minutes again. I'm sure that was 2 games in a row we were conceding the first 5 minutes.
Yes, you're right.
Coventry and Fleetwood.
And then Joey Barton was winding the fans up, as he always does, because he's an absolute bellend. And then the Coventry game, just again one bit of quality. Someone said to us on the comments, because I say Coventry had a goal scorer, and they went who? And Gordon scored. Just saying.
Matt Gordon.
Got the winner yesterday against Ipswich as well.
Exactly, and that's the difference. Because White's not going to do that, is he? So if we had a Gordon,
Whose fault was the goal, though? Leading up with the goal?
I said Max Power.
It was Power, because he went...
Power?
No, it wasn't Power.
He went,
Yep. Even though two centre-backs went for the same ball and we were left completely exposed afterwards.
That's human error, but you're just trying to put the blame off Max Power. Max Power.
You're trying to put the blame on Max Power.
Because it was Max Power. Max
So
Power.
you're telling me the moment he gave the ball away, there was nothing we could have done afterwards to stop
No,
the goal?
because we're trying to go on the attack.
Yeah, but why did Flanagan and Ostow both go for the same ball? One of them should have said, I'll stay back, watch the channel, and you go for the ball.
Lack of communication and
poor marking.
No. You could put all the players in the world. A good player can find a good pass. You can just nick it through your legs. And to be honest, there was only a tiny gap between the two centre backs, and he got it through. And it's a good pass and a good finish. But guess what? Power, instead of controlling it, hoofing it, he went like this and tried to head it. Backhead it. He wasn't even look where he was heading it. He headed straight there, player.
The pass you're talking about didn't find its way through Power. It found its way through our centre backs, who are there to stop the pass going through. There was enough time afterwards to stop it after Power gave it away.
Power's getting the blame.
Anyway,
Power.
Fleetwood, I thought was Joey Barton does as Joey Barton does. He comes up there and he riles his players up, and they got a goal in the first 5 minutes. Rattled us. We'll come back into the second half. We obviously played a lot better, a lot of position, but we didn't really create much. And obviously we got the equaliser when we were outside, which was great. It wasn't a bad result really, because I think Fleetwood's a form side, so you take the point. Going into the Coventry game again, we're conceding in the first 5 minutes, which it's happened now in 2 games.
2 minutes, 2 games. I was just putting 2 minutes, 2 games.
We've been down with 5 minutes.
Coventry's a good side, and I think they'll go on to win the league. So I would have probably took a point out of both games.
I must admit, I think they will. I
think getting beat, it's a massive blow. But the offside goal, me and Dana were jumping around like with won the league. Won the World Cup was Joey Barton.
Yeah.
My trousers nearly fell down.
Well, that's a bit too much information there, mate.
But on the whole, I thought we're slightly the better. I know there's been a lot of Coventry fans commenting on the interviews I've done down there.
By the way, they did great interviews down at the Coventry match. Fantastic, well done.
Yeah,
and
we don't condone the whole sing when Joey Barton da 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 da. That, by the way, that song that people were singing. That's not on.
Jimmy Hill, you mean Jimmy Hill?
Well, Jimmy Hill, but I was also for someone saying when Joey will sing when Joey Barton.
There's no need for any of that.
There's no need for any of that stuff.
There was a song down Coventry which I'm going to have a plate about Jimmy Hill, and that was
no need for that either.
I should have apologised at the time, but
don't worry,
emotions were running high. Anyway, like you say, the Coventry game, it was disappointing. We thought we'd got a goal and it was ruled out for offside,
and it was clearly offside. Why was that far offside?
Absolutely guttering, but
guttering.
But we didn't get nothing out of the 2 games, and I said them 2 games would define our season. So I
just thought. I think Fleetwood's a great club. I think Coventry a great club, great sets of fans. I just think we absolutely bottled it in the first 10 minutes of both matches, and we just didn't come out the blocks. All this bollocks about Joey Barton getting his team up. Why aren't we up there for these matches?
Yeah.
Why aren't we going for these matches? Why can't we cut the blocks and give it to them straight away? Yeah. Why are we coming out half asleep, content to be comfortable? Absolute pile of shite, man. Honest to God. Our one chance now, we've blown it. Our one chance to win the league. We had a great opportunity opportunity, and all them players out there should be ashamed. They've blown it. Are you good enough? We don't know. We'll find out at the end of the season. But I was so disappointed after those 2 matches.
Wanna know why?
I was more disappointed after those 2 matches than I was yesterday.
Because we're soft. We've been soft since last season. We've got no
No backbone.
no shithousery.
Nobody wants to fight for it.
Do you know what I mean? We've got no shithousery in our team. Joey Barton will get that out of these players. The time wasting. However, man, the time wasting for the Joey Barton game was ridiculous. Time wasting. When do we do that? Why don't we do that yesterday? Manage the game.
I still think it's no excuse. You've got 90 minutes to beat a team. You come out off the blocks and you give it to them, stick it to them. You know, was it nerves? Players in League One getting nerves? I mean, look at 30,000 fans yesterday at home, and it was 20 odd against Fleetwood. Absolutely fantastic fans, loyal, passionate fans, and these players kind of come out and do the same thing.
I said though a while ago, says like them 2 games would define our season, and they were massive games. Like the Fleetwood's the form side, playing really well. We haven't won one of them. It's a bit worrying.
I did say to you as well, if we didn't beat Coventry, that's our season done.
Yeah, well, we're not going to get. For me, we're not going to get in the top 2. I don't think we can get in the top 2. I think now we get a dip in form. We've had our run, our good run of form. All teams go through dips in form, unless Phil Parkinson can sort this out immediately. We are not going to get in the top 2, and we might even miss out on playoffs. That's the way I feel at this moment in time.
Do you know what? It's right.
Mathematically, it
2
isn't done,
points
but
out of 9.
There's a lot to sort out.
2 points out of 9 is absolute garbage. Absolute garbage.
Phil Parkinson, you've got 9 games left. You've got to mix it up. You've got to change the system. You've got to change something. Because 9 games left to get in the top 2.
And I'm really positive normally, but Dean, what's your score prediction for Bristol Rovers on Tuesday night?
We'll win. We will win. I think the clean sheets are starting to leave us now, so I think we will concede. But I'm going to go 2-1 win.
Sean?
I'll go 3-1 to Sunderland.
Same as Dino. 2-1 Sunderland. If you claim you want to go up, show it in the next 2 games.
100%.
Clearly, we're all talking to our hearts because obviously, with our heads,
No, I genuinely think with the head, I think we will beat Bristol.
We haven't got a bad.
Well, hopefully, anyway.
Rovers, so I'm just going off that thingy. My mistake.
And forever the
Fingers
optimist, Mr. Weefley. What's your prediction?
2-0, Mr. Bad Mistake.
2-0. Get in.
What's
2-0.
yours?
I'm going to go for 1-0 away victory, and it's going to be really tight because Bristol have a decent side.
You're going for a clean sheet.
I am. Hopefully,
brave.
Phil Pattinson will put somebody in the centre of defence and sort this shower of
garbage.
Out. Right, so again, we won't be here between now and Saturday, so Blackpool, Mr. Dean, what's the score predictions down sunny Blackpool on the beach with the donkeys? Are we going to be donkeys or are we going to be stallions on Saturday?
Are we going to have a good pleasurable time?
You know what? Every time we play Blackpool, I'm sure they always give us a hard game. You know.
Every team gives us a bloody hard game now.
I think probably. So what's that? 2 away games, right? So for me, I think it will be a 1-0 Sunderland win.
Go on, Dino. Mr. Positivity. I like it.
Is Dino saying this just to get rid of the it's the end of the world narrative?
No, but like you say, I want to go up. I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right that we're going to drop out. But if you want to go up, you got to win them 2 games.
No, you got to.
Their season's done. They're not going up and they're not going down. Blackpool probably the same. So them 2 really haven't got out to really play for.
Sean,
Blackpool, I think will win 2-0.
Michael,
I'm gonna be the end of the world. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw.
I was going to say 1-1. Yeah.
It's just because
Briefly?
Blackpool's got a new manager at home, difficult team. Hope I'm wrong. Hopefully we get a win.
Blackpool 1, Sunderland 2, Mr. Mad Mistake.
I'm going to go because Blackpool have got a new manager. They've got a good draw against Joey Barton's Fleetwood. I'm going to go for 1-0 defeat. Because we're going to build our hopes up by beating Bristol Rovers, and then we're going to go and absolutely blow it again against Blackpool.
It wouldn't. You know what? It would be the most Sunderland thing ever.
And this is the first time this season I've actually going to say a defeat. The first
I was going to
time.
say, has Philly actually ever said a defeat?
He's not once. He always says he'll win.
No, well, because I think we'll win. We'll go automatically, easily.
Please let Phil be right at the end of the season, please.
3
For
points,
goodness.
and there's 9 games to play.
But please don't put your mortgage on it.
Right? No, someone on my YouTube channel.
Remember, get your tickets.
Yeah, someone on my YouTube channel commented that Sunderland cost them £69 yesterday. So please don't put us on a coupon because we never deliver.
I actually got a coupon off yesterday. I backed Newcastle to win 4-1. I backed Middlesbrough to win, and I backed Sunderland to win, and I cashed out at 86 minutes.
Well done.
Get
Bad mistake, the king of coupons.
I would have won 40 quid, I took 30 odds, so get in.
The 365.
Let's hope we can get a coupon. Right, thanks for watching this Sunday
Thank
bunch
you.
of the Sunday crew. And again, come down to Hastings Hill and have a nice Sunday carvery. Please subscribe to the channel and buy a ticket for the Wee Phillies pre-match show down at Blackpool. What clubs are that? What pubs are that, Wee Philly?
Yates's.
Yates's, that's Yates's.
Can you move in there? Like the wee chief.
Is the strippers on?
Behave yourself.
Okay, no strippers on unless these two lads get up. Ignore. Right, that's it, we're finishing it now. Thanks for watching, cheers.